Welcome to Light Unfiltered. This is a space that I am creating for me to rant, rave, get feral, wild, unhinged, and really raw and real about the energetics of what's happening right now on the planet, and also talk about how we can navigate them. This is specifically a conversation for people who already believe in magic, people who are here to make the world a better place. They know it starts from their own inner beingness, and they're here to be a light in the world. So, whatever the title, lightworker, healer, empath, it doesn't matter. The labels are useful until they're not. But, like, if you are here on Team Humanity, helping walk the earth herself and all the people on it through this portal of evolution right now, where we're shifting our consciousness and revealing everything that's out of alignment, then this might be a conversation for you. I'm going to just take a moment and I'm going to share this into my Facebook group, which harkens me back to the good old days when I started doing this. This is kind of a throwback where I would go live a lot more often, and I want to be able to speak and share at the same time, but I cannot always. So give me just one moment. Okay. Last week I had my bestie and inspiration coordinator do it for me. And this week I was like, I do it myself like a toddler. And that was hard. And I remember it being hard. But back in like 2019, 2020, there were a lot more live shows on all platforms that I would watch and I had a chance to be a part of and that I would share out as well. And this past January, when I was really feeling into how I wanted to show up this year and moving forward, bringing this back was something that was given to me. So, one thing you should know about me, if you haven't met, is I have always been a mystic. I was in the closet for a really long time, but I'm not someone who had a big dark night of the soul and then spiritual awakening. I remember mystical experiences happening when I was as young as 8 years old, but like I'm sure they were happening before there. I just wasn't really forming all the memories. So I have always had a direct hotline to the divine. I have always felt really connected to my team, to the earth. And there, of course, have been all kinds of crazy epiphanies on my journey. But I was told when I was 8 years old, I was going to be a spiritual teacher. And that freaked me out. And it took me a long healing journey of cleaning up my beliefs, my wounding, my programming, stuff from my Akashics and everything to be able to show up and share my voice and speak truths that I have known for decades. We're here now, though. And I have been sharing pretty candidly online for the past 6 or 7 years. Since about 2019 was really when I got the push to like share your voice. You need to prepare. Humanity is going to be going through a spiritual acceleration. This was back when I was a professional hula hooper, an artist in residence, and my first business, Dancing into Being Movement Arts and Healing, was something that I had created, like a dream business out of nothing. And I was doing some coaching, some meditation, some movement arts. It was all personal mastery through movement and all kinds of healing through that. But I was told that I had to bring my whole business online and share what I had been practicing, developing, and all of that. And I get bossed around a lot by the divine. I just get told what to do. Sometimes it's in a meditation, sometimes it's in a soul journey. Sometimes I will just be minding my own business and it's like, spirit is here and talking with me and telling me, do this now. And there have been lots of times where I have done stuff as like with great reluctance, let's just say, where it's taken me a whole lot of cleaning and clearing to be able to do it, because it's not something my human would prefer. And I have entered my era of really rewiring the duty that I have and the devotion to that into desire. When I get my human and divine self in coherence and alignment, I'm like, ooh, actually, I do want this. But it's when I'm operating out of the very human fear and the ego that's trying to protect me that I'm just like, I don't want to, don't make me do it. Or like a petulant teenager that's like, fine, I don't want to, but if you're going to make me, I guess I'll do it and I'll do what I want to do later. I was recently reoriented by my current coach and mentor, Genevieve Rackham, into the reminder of the desire that I actually have to do all of these things. And I was like, oh yeah, right. So that's actually something we're going to talk more deeply about in my membership, the Abundant as Fuck Lightworker, this month in February. So if you're part of that community, I've just posted today and the email's going out today that we are playing with that frequency of turning duty and like we have to into a desire that actually is so much more like, well, it feels better, it's more magnetic, it's more fun, like just the energy, you can feel that, right? Like duty versus desire. So that's a big part of what I am working with right now, myself, leading myself through it, and then sharing it with the people in my world, with my clients, because every one of my students and clients, and this is probably going to apply to you too, is someone that feels like you have a duty to help. You don't even know how necessarily, but you're like, I'm here to help, because you're looking around at the world and you're seeing that shit is crazy right now. And it is. It's absolutely insane. And what we require in order to be able to help is clarity in our field and coherence and the ability to hear divine guidance. And honestly, moving forward, especially as we go into the year of the snake, we're going to need to have blinders on, focused on what we are here to do, what we want, what we're creating, what we're here to serve with and as. Like, it's going to get increasingly noisy in the collective. Okay. We are in this really wild time of illuminating all the shit, which, by the way, is chaotic as fuck, but it's not new. There are a lot of people who are like, like, just like, oh, wow, all of this stuff, and it feels new to them and it's blowing their mind. For many of us, like, we just know this has been the underbelly underneath everything, the dark, shadowy parts where source and divine connection has not been for like millennia, really. So it's not new, it's just finally being illuminated. The light work has been working. We are seeing it so that it can be cleared and healed and rebalanced and all of that. So it's, the world is more chaotic right now, but it is actually getting better, because now this shit's not happening underneath the surface where we couldn't see it, where it was festering, where people were being injured and wounded without any consciousness. So we're in this time of illumination, right? The light is unfiltered. That is like what is happening. For a very long time, it was being filtered by this collective agreement that we had to experience separation from source. And we are past that now, and everything is being recalibrated, reoriented. Everything that's out of alignment is being destroyed. And that's wild. It's wild to be living through. It's really fucking crazy. And in order to be able to show up as an example of what's possible, where we're headed, what we want to build, you cannot hold all of the shit of the collective and the wounding and the stuff that's being like brought up so it can be healed inside your field. If you hold it in your field, that basically is just A, gonna really fucking suck. B, it's going to confuse you and overwhelm you and make you feel awful. C, you're going to be incredibly ineffective and you're not going to get your soul work done. You're just going to feel heavy and like you can't do anything. And I don't know about you, but if you've got this soul mission and you want to help and you want to experience life in a different way, like, who's got time for that? We don't. I am not saying when I talk about any of this stuff, by the way, to like ignore or spiritually bypass the atrocities that are being uncovered. I am saying you have a piece of the puzzle for the evolution of humanity, for the healing of humanity, to show us what is possible and where we're going. And if you can't access that, then you're not going to be any help to anyone, including like the entire earth, but also yourself and the people around you and your kids and your friends and your lovers. And you are a helper, otherwise you wouldn't still be watching, right? Now this is collective work. We are working as a team right now, and there's going to be times where you need rest. There's going to be times where you need to look away, when you need to focus on your personal healing. But if you are in my world right now, chances are you have been doing the personal healing work. You have been doing the shedding. You have been preparing for years, if not decades, and definitely for lifetimes, right? For the soul workers, the light workers, the shadow workers, whatever you want to call yourself, the visionaries, the people who came here to help at this time, you are not new to this. You are probably inundated with clearing out, your ancestral lines and all of the collective shit. So that clarity that I'm talking about is like going to be foundational, is a requirement moving forward. If you don't have clarity in your energetic field, like meaning like it needs to be clean and clear, and I'm talking emotionally, psychically, mentally, physically, if you don't have that clarity, you're not going to be able to move forward, right? If you're just bogged down by all of the stuff. It's not that it's easy to, well, it can be easy to create that kind of clarity. I can show you how. By the way, I'm going to show everybody how I do it, and I've taught hundreds of people life-changing tools to do it. I'm doing that on Wednesday in a divine clarity workshop. But I mean, it's simple, but it's not always easy to put into practice, right? But the way that I teach it, it is easy. You just have to do it. But like, you came for this, you were born for this, and you have work to do. I also want you to have the kind of clarity in your field that allows you to have the kind of fucking discernment that you're going to require to navigate moving forward. If everybody's junk is in your field, you don't know what's what. You're operating from this place of confusion and fogginess, and like, you're not sure, is this even mine? I don't know. I don't want that for you. I want the people who are the heart centered light leaders who've got shit to do right now to help the world evolve, right? To help stabilize, to help guide, to do all of this work. I want you to feel crystal fucking clear about who you are as a divine shining star who is here to support the evolution of humanity right now, but also clear on what your next steps are. And probably some of the bigger vision stuff too. But the most essential part is about clarity on the alignment that you need to hold in your body, which is to your highest self, not a bunch of other people's shit, not a bunch of institutions, other mentors, other people, ancestors, like parental figures. The amount of people and things that you could be plugged into is infinite. And I don't want that for you, because it is going to just cock block your ability to be clear on who you are and what you're here to do and how to make decisions and all of the stuff that you're going to need as literal baseline foundation to get shit done. It's going to block all of that from you. I want you to be connected into your highest self, source itself, into the earth, like in this kind of alignment, having your body, mind, heart, and soul all working in coherence and not fighting each other, because that also makes it really hard to get shit done. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then another step back. So you're not even doing a dance or a cha-cha. You're just like swirling around. I don't want that for you, because I want you to know what to do at any given moment. And if you feel foggy or confused, I want you to have the tools that you need in order to clear that shit and get connected, reconnected, which is your state that you're supposed to be operating in, right? Disconnection is the original wound. It's the wound of separation. It's the wound of existing in density here on this planet. I want you to know how to almost instantly clear that shit and come back to the alignment that is basically enlightenment, because it gives you the ability to ask a question like, what is my next right step? And you can get an answer basically instantly. I want you to trust yourself enough and to have the tools that give you that ability. Again, not as an end goal, but as the motherfucking baseline of operations for this next year and decades moving forward. I want that for you because that's what allows you to do your work in the world. That's what allows you to have fun and even some joy and magic and abundance in your life, even as the world is burning. It is what gives you the clear direction and the ability to move forward and do the things that will help humanity move forward, because that's what you came here to do. Us sitting in the energy of like, oh my God, everything is burning, everything is awful, I can't believe it, Epstein files, Alberta separation, la la la, like world wars, oh my gosh, this and that. Like, yes, it's fucking crazy. It is crazy. But if you're stuck in that and you are overly focused on it and it takes you out of alignment, then you are not able to do the things you're here to do, and you got shit to do. And if you're like, I don't know what to do, well, that's why the clarity is essential too. No matter what stage you're at as a light leader, you need the clarity as a foundation for creation. Instead of just reacting to whatever it happens to be, we need to have this alignment to basically keep us focused on what it is that we are here to do. And I speak to this as someone who multidimensionally has so many fingers in so many pies, whether that's in my business or keeping tabs energetically on what's happening in different timelines. Like, believe me, I know how easy it is to be distracted by all different voices, by what people are saying, by what has done, what you think can be happening and might happen. Like, all of that can be so distracting, and it basically makes us lost, right? And we're just like, I don't even know. I know when I'm in that state, which does happen because life is crazy, I can't get shit done. I don't know how to show up and serve my clients. I don't know what to post on social media. I don't know what the next right step is in my business. It's like all the ideas just like swirl around, and some of them are good and some of them are not, but I can't tell fully. I don't have the discernment that I need to be able to move forward with the clarity and the ease that and the flow that feels so good and is magnetic to magic and miracles. So I have to use my tools. And I'm talking regularly. I'm talking sometimes multiple times a day, because alignment, clarity, all of these things, like it's very difficult to maintain as a perfect thing all of the time in this shit show that we're living in. Like, I liken it to basically your windshield. If you're driving in the rain, in the sleet, in the snow, if there's mud, there's bugs, like it all comes onto your windshield. And so you have to keep cleaning the windshield. That is, we're driving at top speed through this timeline, through this experience, and shit hits the windshield. So, like, we need to regularly clean. I'm talking all of the time. I don't know if you've seen any of the hygiene Olympics that happen on different social media platforms, which I totally understand. There are dirty people out there. Like, I get that people can also have some like OCD about cleanliness. I get that everybody has a different baseline, but I'm someone who has, been comfortable showering every other day. If I've gone camping at music festivals, I've done 3-4 days without showering and been stinky, and like it doesn't gross me out to the degree that it would gross some people out. And that cultural, that's everything. There are people who are like, you have to shower twice a day baseline, otherwise you're nasty. Right? And I've been like, I don't know, every other day, if I'm not working out and I'm not sweaty and I'm not getting dirty, that's fine for me. Right? Like that and I'm like, to each their own. But when it comes to energetic hygiene, I'm a freak. I'm like, if you are not clearing and cleaning that shit every day, at least twice a day, if not more, and constantly checking and washing your hands. By the way, I'm a hand washing freak. Every time we walk in the door to my house, the first thing I say to my daughter, wash your hands. And you know what? We get sick a hell of a lot less than a lot of people because we are just, yeah, washing our hands, soap and water, doing it up. So I'm not saying I'm like always dirty and gross. The hands are clean, just the hair. When you have like colored hair also, you're not supposed to wash it that often. Regardless, energetic hygiene is not something that is optional anymore. You might have been able to get away with it in the past, cleaning off just when you noticed you were dirty. We have to do it in a prophylactic way. I don't bust that word out often. Most people think of the condoms when we're talking about prophylactic stuff. It's preventative measures, getting your field clean and clear before you can't see. That's essential to me. So I'm going to harp on about it. I learned to live this though, and I still forget every once in a while, and I'll be like, why am I spinning? And then of course I've got mentors who will be like, hey, let's realign. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. But I do make a habit of this, and I know it's so much easier to do when we are being told, reminded, instructed by someone to do it. I became a like world-class badass hula hooper because I went to classes where mentors would tell me practice this, and then I would do it, and I wouldn't do it at home until, I got better at something. I wouldn't always kick my own butt the same way someone else could kick my butt and remind me to do stuff. So I'm that person for my students, for my clients. I'm like, the baseline should be reconnecting with your divine self, right? With the divine, with the earth, with source, with your luminous team. And if you are disconnected, don't do anything until you have reconnected. If you have ever been in a client session with me or a group session, chances are we got into sacred space, we got realigned, and we got into that feeling of clarity before we did other stuff, because it makes the biggest difference, because it works so well, because when I don't, the quality of the work is shit. This is what I do with my team as well. So when, say, Nicole and I are having a meeting, when we are doing work for my business or her business, because we will collab like that sometimes, and we forget, we'll be like, it's not working. Oh, where are these ideas? Like, because you get so used to feeling the divine flow. This is where downloads happen, by the way, where you're just like, oh, the idea just like dropped in, and I understand it and I see it and I feel it right here. You can't receive a download from the divine if you are disconnected or you don't have space. So again, this is foundational level stuff. And I didn't want to have this be my focus for the beginning of the year here. I had other plans. And the divine was like, no, people need to hear this from you right now. Divine clarity has to be the baseline going forward. And so I pivoted what I was going to talk about, the masterclass or workshop that I'm holding for free this month. I often do offer free events to share as much of these tools as possible because they are so, so helpful. And I want them available as widely as possible. And then I invite people to work more deeply with me to actually implement them, because this is the thing. They're, again, the baseline. I want you to operate from the divine clarity and reconnection as your baseline. But then if you're wanting to grow the business, share your soul voice, amplify your magic, activate light body, rewire the beliefs and the nervous system, like that's work that we do inside of my paid spaces. But like, I just want as many people as possible to have the tools that have come through me as an alchemy of what I have learned and been taught from decades of study, but also what has been channeled through me from Gaia, from the divine, with my clients as co-creations. I have been doing this work for decades, and it just keeps getting better. But these foundational tools are as potent as can be, and they just shift the energetic flow so quickly that I could take a group of women who are saying by their own self-report that they're feeling like, okay, they're feeling pretty good, they're feeling all right, maybe they're kind of tired. In 15 minutes, I can take a circle of women to saying, I feel amazing. I feel blissful. I feel ecstatic. Oh my gosh. I feel so connected. I feel uplifted. I feel joyous. I feel bliss. That is how good this work can be. Okay. So when I say it's potent as fuck and it works, maybe not for everybody, but for the people that are meant to do work with me who are already the light workers, you know your way around energy work, you know your way around a guided meditation. You're not thinking that like, oh, magic isn't real. You already know it is. If you are those people, then this shit will work so well for you. And I'm going to show everybody on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time inside Divine Clarity. And yes, there's a replay, some of the basic tools. If you've worked with me before, come anyway. Watch the replay anyway, because without the foundations, without the basics, without having that on lock, you're not going to have the mastery of the higher level things. Okay. And we know we're in the last couple weeks of the water snake, of the shedding before the Chinese Lunar New Year, where we move into the fire horse and we're shifting energies and things are going to speed up. And I want to remind you that when you are moving fast, just being a little out of alignment is going to take you off so fucking fast. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be aligned and clear and always have access to tools that will get you there, even if life has been heaping on, even if you have gotten into the spinny space of like, oh my God, what do I do next? Oh my God, I don't know. I want this for you. And this is actually, I should mention, basically module 1 of my Psychic as Fuck course. It's pre-work for it. Module 1 to 6 is something that's going to be held inside Psychic as Fuck, formerly known as the Divine Channel. Another thing I was not going to bring back at this time, but again, my divine guidance was like, no, you need to do this. And they were like, and rebrand it. And I was like, okay, all right. I didn't want to. And then I'm like, wait, no, if this is what is needed in the collective right now, let's fucking go. And also, Psychic AF is the continuation of the work of like how good it can get when you practice all this stuff, right? Because I'm talking clear field, so you can restore the natural flow of your intuition. And then in Psychic AF, we go through the, I don't want to say basics because it is an intermediate to advanced level intuitive development course that's focusing on using the energy work and the way your imagination works and the way the divine speaks through us and to us and all of that stuff, and your self-confidence and your ability to trust and have discernment, all of those things, and creating the space to practice to amplify all your psychic senses. That 6-week course is going to be fucking magical. So that is something that you can join me in. We're going to be launching that next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday. It's going to be 6 weeks of study and practice of being a clear channel so that you have access to everything that you need all of the time. It is so powerful. And again, life-changing. If you're intuitive sometimes and not at other times, like this is work that is so important because you're not going to be able to do the rest of your shit until you have this locked down. Fortune 500 company owners, CEOs use their intuition all of the time, and they will admit that. They cannot possibly logic out the decisions that they make. People who are naturally intuitive, psychic, and gifted, energetically sensitive, we actually sometimes have more trauma around using what is a natural, innate gift that everyone can have access to. So my understanding and awareness is that all humans, when we have clarity and we don't have the programs and the blocks and the trauma around our intuitive senses, are naturally very intuitive, right? And then some of us have psychic senses that are like clairvoyance and clairaudience and things like that naturally. I think we all do. And then society and the way we're programmed as kids just shuts that down. But we can also have blocks from past lives or because we chose a handicap in this lifetime, because maybe we relied on it too much in another lifetime. There's all kinds of reasons why your psychic senses might not be already firing on all cylinders. But the work that I do the most is creating the clean and clear channel from the divine to you, so you can have the discernment you need to understand what is true for you. And that is through your clairsentience in the body and through the mind. Okay? Through the claircognizance, the knowing and the feeling. And we need to lock all that shit down and have you know exactly how yours works before you get real fancy and start to pull in more of the clairvoyance and clairaudience. In Psychic AF, we are focusing on this channel because this is the important one. This stuff on the parallel to the earth axis, so prone to distortion. This, if you go straight to source and you learn how to work through your mind, your imagination, and your body, you'll be unstoppable. You will have the discernment that you desire to be able to go, is this true? Right? It's really easy when you clear away the stuff that should not be there, that's not even yours. So again, divine clarity, that's where I'm going to give the primer for the tools. And then in Psychic AF, we're going deeper. I am just so excited to be able to share this stuff right now, even though a month ago it was like, oh, duty, obligation. I don't want to have other things I want to talk about because it's more fun. I want to talk about the stuff that's really fun. I want to talk about the money, the sex, the power, the business stuff that lights me up, that I love. And again, Spirit was like, no, start with this. Okay. All right. Let's fucking go. This is going to help you create the stability that we need to be able to handle the revelation that is coming out right now. Let me tell you, it's not over. There is going to be stuff that is going to like blow people's minds even further. Stuff that was conspiracy is being proven true all of the time, because a lot of it has been out in the open and people were walking around like, la 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 la, that can't be true. No, 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 no. The aliens and the satanic sex cult stuff, like, no, 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 that's not, it couldn't possibly be, right? That's how most of the world is operated. And the revelations have been coming for a really long time. Well, really, let's say top speed for the last 6 years, 7 years or so. And we're going to keep going until all is unearthed. We're going to see the dark underbelly of everything that has been disconnected from source energy and divine light, so that we can choose something new. And humanity is going to have a rough fucking time, and they need you. They need your stability. They need your light. So if you are spinning out, it's just, you're not actually able to help to the degree that you came here for. So let's fucking go. Okay. I do have so many opportunities to work more closely with me. If you are feeling the desire to be guided by someone who is going to remind you who the fuck you are, psychically help you when you are out of alignment, who can help you rewire the programs that you have been playing out that are not yours, so that you can be on track, clear in the divine flow, and taking one step at a time in the direction of what you're actually here for, to create the business, the bank account, the expression, the abundance, the love, the inner peace, the bliss, the pleasure that's available to you. Just message me. So we have all kinds of opportunities to actually go deep in this work. The first place that you can start, next Wednesday for free. If you are in Abundant AF, the membership, just know that we've got so much fun stuff happening in February for you as well. So I mentioned about the duty to desire piece, because that is this reorientation that's going to feel so fucking good. We're also bringing in a beautiful guest expert, Melissa, who is going to be helping us with some identity shifts into abundance that are going to rock your world. and we'll play. So, feeling complete here and now. If you have questions, let me know. You can drop it in the comments below. And I'm sending you so much love. And just know, if you are struggling right now, there's nothing wrong with you, but it's shit that doesn't have to stick with you. We can clear and clean that stuff out, restore the divine flowing through you, and give you the support and the stability that you need to be able to show up with the most amount of light and magic possible right now. And I mean, it just feels so much better when we can be who we have always been meant to be, right? Like who we already are, and we keep evolving from that. So beautiful, divine shining star. We'll talk soon. Remember, you were born for this. Let's have as much fun with it as we can.